back.
Welcome back to today's podcast episode.
Welcome. Today we're going to be going over the ideal customer.
So part 2 of the Kickstart series.
To kickstart your fitness business in 2025.
Let's go.
And today we're going to be talking about a topic that I feel is a broken record. But it is a really good activity to integrate into your business regularly.
Yeah, that you should be doing periodically 3 times a year, do you reckon?
Yeah, we definitely. You need to kind of reset, especially as you're growing in business. Your ideal customer is going to change over and over and over.
Yeah.
So it's important too.
And so I might just ask you like a general overview. Why is it important to go over your ideal customer?
Because you can't talk to everyone. That your business is going to solve a specific pain point. And you can't talk to everyone. You wouldn't speak to an 18-year-old the way that you would a 50-year-old. You wouldn't speak to someone without kids the way that you do someone with kids. It's important to understand who you're talking to. If you can nail who you're talking to, you can sell.
Yeah. But then also there are a lot of coaches out there that want to talk to everyone. So why is it important to not want to talk to everybody?
I feel like it's a scarcity mindset. You want to talk to everyone because you don't want to limit the amount of customers that you can bring on board.
Yeah.
But if you're talking to everyone, you're not going to bring anyone on board because they don't share a problem. Sure, you're limiting your pool, but you're qualifying them so much more. It would be the same as, for example, Forward Moves is an agency. There are hundreds of agencies that do the same thing as us. But the reason why you listen to us and the reason why you purchase from us is because we specifically speak to fitness coaches.
Yeah.
We don't speak to the beauty industry. We don't speak to any other industries like that.
It makes your pool smaller, but it improves the quality of the people in your pool. Yeah.
And on it, like when you bring your pool smaller, all you need is 50 people to speak to you.
Yeah.
That's all you need. 50 people in a room, that's a classroom. Like that is a workplace.
Yeah.
That is so easy. So it's really important to nail down who you're talking to. And there's ways to do that. The way that I like to do it, there's heaps of different ways that you can do it. But the way that I like to do it is I like to do demographic and psychographics. So demographics are the things that you cannot change about a person. Fluidly. Keira is a 28-year-old female who lives in Brisbane. That's a demographic because that's facts about Keira. Psychographics are really important, and I feel like this is where a lot of people lack. Psychographics is the value composition of your customer. So it is what they value, it is where their mindset is at, and it's basically the consumer psychology key to speaking to your customers, which is super important.
Love that.
So I do this every day, basically. I do this with customers every day and I walk them through this activity. So we have linked an activity sheet in the show notes, so you can do this as well. But Keira hasn't jumped on one of these calls with me. So it's actually going to be Keira prompting me and asking me why and walking through like a bit of a customer like that.
Yes. So we want you to treat this as an activity for yourself now. Even if you've done it before, this is a really good way to update it as well. So we kind of want you to also be going through this activity at the same time. So find the link of the activity page or just get a pen and paper and we'll take you through all of it.
I can assure you that you're going to find something
Yeah.
in this activity. I do this myself with our business help and I'm always shocked by it. I do this with my one-to-ones when we're having trouble getting leads. Everyone goes through leads periods. And we sit down, we're like, wow, we've been marketing the wrong thing. So it's really, really helpful if you feel like you're really struggling at the moment. Let's go through it.
Amazing.
Number 1 is gender. Pick a gender. Now, there is a clause here. There is a clause. Psychographics will always dominate demographics when it comes to your ideal customer and speaking to them. So if you don't want to pick a gender, it means that you need to understand what their values are a lot more. But typically, pick a gender.
Yeah.
What gender do you want to work with? Females don't have the same problems as males. Males don't have the same problems as females. A really great example of this is females get in the gym to lose weight typically. Males get in the gym because they feel too skinny and they want to put on size.
Yeah.
At the beginning of a journey, that it's that simple. You can't market the same thing to each of them. Now, there is also something else I should specify. If you are a face-to-face PT and you want to build online, have two different lists. Have a face-to-face list and have an online list, because your customer is going to be completely different. So your customer face-to-face is going to be a completely different avatar, and that is because there's different values within it. You'll find that face-to-face people are coming to you for human connection. Typically, they don't care about results. They're just there to see you every week and just to word vomit.
Yeah.
Online people are more driven, and so it's going to be a different target market. Another thing that I always warn our customers about, mention is when I'm going through this activity, and feel free to do it as current customer and ideal, you're always going to be drawn back to who your customer is. But try and pull yourself out of that and go, who do I want to work with? And if you need to do the activity of who your current is but who you want to work with, that's totally fine. You can do that. But a lot of the time when I'm in this activity and I'm speaking to coaches, I'm like, okay, you're talking about your currents. You've told me you don't like working with them. What do your ideals do?
Yeah.
So you need to understand that difference as well and pull yourself out of that.
For sure.
So gender or age, male or female. Pick one. If you pick both, totally fine. Age.
Yeah.
You need to pick an age bracket. I don't want to hear 18 to 50. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, it's
I don't want to
too
hear it. I
large.
want you to cram it down a little bit more. I would probably say 15 years would be my personal capacity of customers. And you would even find this in our podcast listeners. 90% of our listeners are within a 10-year age bracket.
Yeah, because it splits it up in about 10 years of age brackets, and majority is won by like, I think it's like the 25 to 35-ish range.
I always mention this because a lot of people say to me, oh, I really, really love working with 25-year-olds, but I have a lot of 50-year-olds. And the thing is, you're always going to attract outliers.
Yeah.
You're always going to attract people that don't fit the mold, but you need to talk to the mold.
Yes.
So in this day and age, it's really great to have an age bracket that you're sitting in because you can relate to them. So if Keira was to go out and to be a coach, she would probably say, look, probably 26 to 36 or 25 to 35, because I can still remember my problems that I had at 25 and I'm growing into that 35-year-old age block.
Yeah.
So you can speak to them about what they're going through.
Yeah, and it's so fine to have allies in your key demographic, because even though like age is kind of just a number too, but like somebody who's 50 may have the same problems that you're talking about to those. So don't be like, oh no, you're not in the age bracket that I'm talking about. Like it's so fine to have people that are allies.
But your business is going to sell with your ability to relate to people. And if you cannot relate to them, you are not going to sell your business.
Yeah.
Unless you're very, very good at marketing. But relatability is the easiest point of selling your business, because if you're going through something in your journey, your customers are probably going through something in their journey. And that's why you find that the online coaches that have kids start offering prenatal programs, because they can relate. That is content that they can actually film. That's their troubles that they're going through. So that's why your niches start to change.
People that are watching them can go, oh, she could help me because she's been through it, or he's been through it, or whatever that is, where before they'd be like, well, I wouldn't really go to you because you wouldn't be able to relate and be able to give me examples or experience, or have gone through it and you wouldn't know what I'm talking about or be able to help and that sort of stuff. So that's why when we say it's good to redo your ideal customer because it won't change, is because like you will change.
Yeah. And pick an age bracket. And the best way to think about it is think about your currents. Who do you have? Who do you love working with? If you really can't figure it out. But I would say group them around your age, because group them around your problems, because no one's problems are individual.
Yeah.
Now, if you are a competitor, I would still pick around your age group, but we're going to talk about psychographics when it comes to being a competitor and running a jam pot business.
Cool. So next is
occupation. Everyone's like, why? I get this question so much. Occupation is incredibly important for me, because as a business owner, if I didn't have someone that didn't understand how to be a business owner, I wouldn't work with them. That's really important to me because it's a very isolating job for me. And what you'll find is you'll have trends. You'll either have trends of 9-to-5ers, you'll have trends for shift workers, you'll have trends for FIFOs, you'll have trends for business owners and individuals, because you will attract them if that's what you're putting out, if that's what you're resharing. So I always say for people to look at trends, because if you find that you take on a lot of shift workers, be a shift worker online coach. That's a really great way to get into that area. If you find that you take on a lot of business owners, let's speak to business owners. If you take on a lot of, healthcare workers, let's use an empathetic route. So although it's not particularly the most important, it's still going to help you with your content and how to actually speak to people. I was doing a little bit of research on shift worker online coaches a couple of weeks back, and I found a few, and their content is so specifically driven to shift work. It was so great, and their businesses look like they're booming. So it's really important to understand what your customer does. And on top of this as well is this will help you hold that connection. You're an online coach. You're not locked into a job. You can train in the middle of the day. We need to keep that relatability to your customers and give them tips on how to fit their health into their lifestyle, not just have the lifestyle that you have.
Yeah.
Unless you want to attract customers like you, that's totally fine. Disposable income.
Yeah.
Do they have it?
Can they actually afford coaching?
Yeah. So there's two ends to this. I would 99% of the time say yes, they need to have it. Realistically, probably not everyone's going to have it. But this is where your psychographics come in, because if they value you, they'll make time for you.
They'll make the money work. Yeah.
And this, I find that disposable income is really, really hard for the younger target demographic, the younger coaches, because they're finding that their customers are quite more volatile because they're more drawn towards the lower ticket programs. But you need to determine the price point and you need to be comfortable with it. And that's why you need to pick what their income bracket's going to be and how you're going to speak to them.
Yeah. I guess would that also then change if that is your ideal market and you figure that if they do have lower disposable income, but it's who you really want to work with, I guess that would change how much you structure your pricing to be and what's included. And
So demographic, I always say this, they frame offers. So if you're working with people that only want to put in $50 a week, start pricing at that. And the way that you can sell your prices is through value-based marketing, basically, showing the value within your business. But if you are a coach that's 22, you're probably going to attract a lot of young girls that want to do challenges. Accommodate for them.
Yeah.
While you accommodate for them, build your credibility to increase your prices whilst you're accommodating. The accommodating might be short term. That's the way that you need to look at it.
Yeah. Until they get older.
Yeah, absolutely.
And their disposable income changes.
It's definitely, coaching is definitely an industry where the older you get, the easier it is to have a little bit more laid back customers, because people at 30 have a bit more money than they did at 20. So they don't blink an eye at a coach and they're just like, whatever.
Yeah.
That's fine. So if you are a younger coach, just use this as a learning opportunity, because it is a little bit difficult. Relationship status. I love asking this question. And do you think it matters? Do you think relationship status matters?
I think it absolutely would, because in my head, relationship status, if they are in a relationship, sometimes you have to factor in the thoughts and opinions of a partner, what they think of like spending the money on the coach and all of that sort of thing. And then also being single, I would factor in, like, do you want people who are going to be going out on dates? Do you want people who are going to be going out partying with their friends more than with a couple than someone who's just going to be at home with their partner on the weekend?
Exactly.
This is my first time thinking of it.
It's really important. And another thing is, how are we going to frame your messaging? Are you training? Are you investing in yourself for your best self, or are you investing in yourself so you can be selfish? Like, how are we framing your messaging? How are we speaking to your target audience? I know for a fact that I invest in health because I want to be my best self for people around me. If I was single, I'd be like, I just want to look hot.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to look hot and have the best time of my life.
That's me always.
And it's completely different things. Like there's a girl in the industry that calls all her customers weapons.
Yeah.
They're 100% a single demographics. They want to look like a weapon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's about prioritizing and understanding your customer too, and understanding the problems. Like, yes, relationships get in the way. Relationships, if your customers are younger, might also be the reason that they can't stay on track.
Yeah.
So it's like understanding through a relationship, here's how you can educate them on why you're doing this. It's all, I need like one of them boards with like all these pins that like, show you like all the connections.
String and yeah.
And I like write down or everything we're talking about, because you're going to have so much content at the end of it.
Absolutely.
Location is really important.
Yes.
Number one, it's quite in depth, but your socio-demographic will determine your pricing. So for example, a rural, is that it? Rural.
Yeah.
Gym will probably charge $30 less than a town gym.
Yeah.
Because of the demographic, and you do need to price based on the area that you're in. But another reason for it is, do you want to take people on nearby? If you live in the Gold Coast and you want people in the Gold Coast, you could create a unique coaching program that has one training session per month with you, but it's an online coaching program because they live in the same area as you. So it's really important to understand these things, and really important to even just understand your customers, where they're from, what they're doing. That's why location is super important. It also depends on what kind of marketing are we going to leverage within the specific location. If you're a face-to-face coach in an area that is really in a closely knit community, let's leverage community connections in order to grow your business rather than focusing just on the online space. So how can we support smaller businesses within that community to help? So it's really this will help you identify marketing methods within your business.
Yeah, I love that.
Kids?
It's like the only one that I put a question mark on. So I read it as kids. But yes, why is having kids important to know?
I think knowing how old the kids are and if they have kids is really important. Because one, we do not have the same time in a day as a mum.
No.
There is no way about
You
it.
have the same 24 hours in a day. No.
And two, is the mum looking to prioritize herself after losing herself just giving birth? Or has the kid gone to school and now they can finally reestablish who they were and get some time back for themselves? Understanding where they're at in their journey. Again, this is probably going to depend on your journey and where you're at, is really the crux of who you're speaking to. Like the kids are back at school. Cool, you have time.
Yeah.
The kids aren't back at school. Here's a way to not eat off your kid's plate.
A really good example of this is my sister. She, before kids, so she had a baby in January, but before kids, it was like, go to the gym because I have to look good, like all that sort of stuff, and just like working on herself kind of thing. Now, since having a kid, and then she got back into the gym, she was like, I have a totally different outlook on the gym. She's like, I go because I get to, and it's my time to myself. And now I get to work on my health. And like, it just completely changed her outlook pre and post.
And it's also, you know, I want to take care of myself because I want to be around for my kids' milestones now.
Yeah.
Like there's so much more to it than just do you have kids or not?
And it's so funny as well because she used to like just go in, get a workout done, leave. And now she's like, you best believe I'm using that whole 90 minutes. Like the kids booked in for crèche. So it's like, it will change like how long they're there for, what sort of program they want. Are you putting in extra stuff for them? Like it would changes your programming and everything
on, you know, either are we working towards aesthetics and feeling good, or are we working towards being able to pick up my kid without hurting myself?
Yeah.
What are we working towards?
Yeah.
And understanding what core problem is sitting there. And if you're sitting here doing this activity and you're like, I don't know, figure it out. Ask the mums that you work with, why do you train with me? And this is the easiest way to understand who your ideal customer is. It's like, for example, Keira, why do you work out?
To look and feel good and be strong and healthy.
And why do I work out? So I don't go mentally insane. And so I feel good. So it's like if I don't train, I spiral.
Yeah.
Like, quite frankly, we're spiraling this week because we haven't trained this week.
Let's not talk about this
But
week.
it's like everyone trains for a different reason. So figure out the reason why your customers are training. We will also get to the reason as to why they might not train as well.
Yeah. So personality.
That's your demographics. So they are the things about your person that are just point blank. This is the way they are, given fluidity in gender. But this is who a person is and this is how they work. So these things will never really change, and they won't change for the present, but they will change as you get older. So you might come back in a year's time and go, oh, I don't really relate to that anymore, so I'm going to change the numbers across. And I just want to state that if you are changing a demographic, you're going to notice a dip in your leads for a little bit because you need to retrain your audience and you need to go out and find the audience that wants to watch you.
Because you'll probably lose some followers because what you're putting out isn't targeted towards them.
A really great example is if you have been like a competitor and you're having a baby, you might notice a little bit of friction when it comes to your leads. It's just because your audience is really like calibrating to your content, and you might need to go out and find mums to follow you and things like that. Yeah. So there's a couple of auditing processes that you can go through, but definitely something to be mindful of when changing your target market. We find this quite a lot in the business moves. Sometimes we have to do like full follower clean outs, be like, go and wipe your followers. It might be like a whole bunch of men following you, go wipe them out. And then we go to gyms and we find followers from the gyms that look like they might be your ideal person. Yeah. Kind of thing. So there's so much to it. So much to it. Did you know that all of this goes on my end?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see the notes.
Yeah. I feel like I'm just in my own little bubble. I'm just like,
I feel like I've been next to you for a call before.
Yeah, true. Actually.
So I haven't heard you talk about it, but I'm also like doing my own stuff at the same time. So not that much into it, but I know that these questions exist on that document because I have to go past it to get to my
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, way more in depth, but.
Because can't sound bad. It's like, do you know? But because Keira and I are both in our separate specialties and they tie together, but like the intricacies of them, it's not like.
I just kind of find out the end result, but not normally like the how we got there kind of thing.
You're in the needs to know.
Yeah. And I'm like, right, what do I need to know from that call?
So then we jump into psychographics, which is my absolute favorite.
I was going to say, this sounds fun. I even love the name of it.
Because it's psychology. And if you guys have been listening for a while, you know that I'm a psychology girly. Psychology is the bread and butter of your business. Your consumer behavior is going to grow your business.
I love psychology. It's so interesting. I love people's brains and how they work.
I love pseudoscience. So good. So personality type. I always talk about this and people are like, I've never actually thought of that. So there are different types of personalities in the world and there's different ways to categorize them, and we all either thrive with a personality or literally can't deal with a personality. And we all have our specific personalities that we deal with. And when I talk about this topic, you might feel a little bit abrupt, but it's your business. You can pick who you work with at the end of the day. So the way that I like to categorize personalities is in 4 different ways. So it's one way to measure personalities. So you've got the left side and the right side of your brain, right? Your left side is really logical and your right is super creative. So your left is Keira and your right is Ray. Colours and systems, right?
Yeah.
But then you've also got them split in half. So you've got your type A and C on your left and your type B and D on your right.
Okay.
So each of these areas have specific traits, and I love doing this because I am type A through and through.
Really?
So type A is your lion, basically. So picture a lion. They're really driven. They're mostly entrepreneurs. They do not care about the journey. They care about the outcome.
Okay.
They can be really stubborn. They can be super insensitive sometimes, but they are quite sensitive. They don't care about little things. Like they won't question little details. They're like, whatever, I'll get over it. It's not the bigger picture scheme of things. And they're super, super driven to their goal. I'm actually going to get it up because have I ever done this activity with you?
Maybe when I first ever started with you. And
really fun. I recommend for all the listeners to jot down what personality you are because I love doing it.
I wonder how many of each one we could do. You know what? Let's put a poll in this episode and be like, what personality type are you? And we'll ask them if they're like, because I know there's lion and peacock.
I'm a lion.
What else?
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. You ready?
Let's put a poll in the episode.
Okay, so
Maddie?
type A's. Try and guess what, I already said mine, but try and guess what Keira's is.
I'm really going to be obvious, but.
Okay, so type A's do not like restraint or restriction. Me to a T, can't stand a deficit. Prefer to set to their own schedule. You will find they are most likely to opt for an online coaching offer to train at a time that suits them. So they like your online coaching clients.
Yeah.
They may seem really impatient in deficit phases as they don't like restraint. They will barely message or talk to you, but they'll do their check-in. They are busy. They probably own a business. Now, their strengths are you can change. They don't care. They love change. They're quite passionate. They're super ambitious and they're highly competitive. Their weaknesses, stubborn, easily angered, workaholic, intolerant.
You are so easily angered too, like especially with coaching.
So me through and through. Hey.
That's funny.
So then the motivations for type A is an opportunity to change, a challenge, success in their drive, and the risk versus ratio reward.
Okay, yeah.
And basically that's what a type A is. So they're like a lion. So they're super like, arr. So understanding where your customers sit will help you market to them. So this is a presentation I'm looking at that we do with our customers. So how to market to a type A is have an adequate training app. That's why I love Everfit. It's adequate and it's quick and I don't have to wait around. If I had an app glitch out on me, I'm out.
Yeah.
See you later.
Yeah.
Getting them results, like as long as you can get them results, easy on time, really quick and effective workouts. So this comes back to occupation. If you have a lot of entrepreneurs, they want quick and effective workouts.
Yeah.
They don't want to be tracking every gram of their food. Like they want programs that you can adapt to their lifestyle. Great return on investment, new or most innovative. So they love and thrive with innovation. And the no-nos for marketing is they do not like long explanations. Like if you are really fluffy with the way that you talk,
Don't have the time to
they're
read it.
zoning out. And that is quite literally me. If you don't tell me what I need to know, I'm like, what?
I've stopped listening.
I stopped listening 30 seconds ago. Like, what's happening?
Yeah.
So that's your type A personality trait. I might even link this in the bio because so that's type A. If you have a couple customers, put like a little type A next to them.
Yeah, yeah.
So type B is the right side of the brain. So these are the creative people. Now, your left sides are like your introverts and your right sides are your extroverts.
Okay.
So you
See, this is interesting because I'm like, I feel like I'll be a mix. Like, because you said before I'm the left, but I'm like.
You can definitely be both. And like personality types, you are per se born with on, but you can be quite fluid given the environment that you're in. So like the reason why I'm type A is because I'm a business owner.
Yep, gotcha.
But when I'm in different environments, I might be something else.
Okay. Yep.
So with a type B personality, they have a fear of being humiliated and therefore may be scared to show their journeys online in fear that they are performing a movement wrong. They are very outgoing and have a way with persuasion.
Okay.
They're your bread and butter, these guys. They will refer people to your business and they will not shut up about you. So they're the peacocks. They're the ones that are like, look at me.
Yeah, okay.
As long as I know I'm doing the right thing, I'm going to show everything online.
Gotcha.
Kind of thing. They're called peacocks because they love attention.
Gotcha.
Right?
Yeah.
So they have a really short attention span and therefore they struggle with long periods of time. So they're probably going to sign up to a challenge.
Gotcha.
Not an online coaching program.
Yeah.
They really like shorter training blocks. They're the ones that are always like, I'm bored.
Give me a new program and it's been like 3 weeks.
And they will ramble on in a check-in call. So if you get them on a call, good luck getting them off a call because they just want to yap the whole time. Your type Bs are your in-person PT people.
Yeah.
They come in, they yap all day, every day.
Yeah.
So they're fun-loving, they're friendly, they're charismatic, they're impatient, self-indulgent, and easily bored. So they're their traits. Now, motivations for type B to sign up, public recognition. They love being praised.
So if they come on board, make sure you've got a thing to be like, welcome to the team.
Yeah, welcome to the team. They love succeeding. They love winning. They love the latest style or trends of things. They love to know that. And they love just being accepted for who they are.
Okay.
So in order to bring a type B on board, it needs to be fun, entertaining, It needs to show them how they're going to look. So your before and afters are super important. Challenges, photo shoots, anything that has an end goal, they're in.
End goal to also be like, look at me.
But if you don't want to bring them on board, just tell them about how bland and direct it is, and they're not going to do it. And they'll be like, ew, not happening.
Yeah, okay.
So that's a type B.
Okay.
So you might know a couple of peacocks.
Okay.
So your type Cs are your owls, and I really do love owls. They're my fave.
Okay.
Owls are important. So type Cs are super analytical, patient, and routined. They are detail-oriented who prioritize logic and rationale thinking. They rely on research and struggle to think outside of black and white. These guys are your through and through competitors. They are to the gram. They are to the workout. They are highly conscientious, detailed, perfectionism. They hide their emotions. If their mum died, you would know, like they hide it. They hold it in. They're accurate. They're systematic. They're worried about their progress, and they thrive on routine. So like with your type Cs, if you say you're going to do a check-in on a Tuesday and you don't do it, they're going to be like, where's my check-in?
Yeah.
And their whole week's going to be derailed. They're very, very specific. They're very logical, but sometimes they get way too caught up in the detail and they just forget the goal.
Okay.
So their strengths are they're creative, independent, dependable, organized. Weaknesses, they can be disengaged, skeptical, appear unsocial, be a little bit detached. In coaching, it can be a little bit hard to deal with as a coach if you don't know how to deal with them.
Why?
Yeah.
Why? Yeah.
So they're your competitors and your athletes, basically. They're driven. They follow a protocol. They don't display a lot of emotion. You're not going to get that much from them, and they keep their private life extremely private. You might question and be like, do they even like me? But they actually have a lot of respect for you. It's just the way that they are. If they find that you've forgotten one set, they'll be like, where is it?
Yeah. Okay.
Or last week, my program said this. Why does it say it this week? Or there's a gram wrong in my meal plan. It's not them being nitpicky. It's just them being them.
Being like over, I don't want to say,
They're
like
really, really
analytical.
Great. They're really, really great to have.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a type A.
Yeah, true.
And you
like,
don't have any detail. like when you run a business, type A and C is really good to have together. It's like your CEO and your CFO.
Gotcha.
So like the way that I picture it is like I'm just making up shit as I go, and then they clean up the mess on the way.
Okay.
They like fix it up.
Gotcha.
They like to work alone. They're going to be your online coaching customers. They are not interested in community groups. They are not interested in challenges. They're not interested in meetups.
Yep.
They just want to get the job done, and they just don't care about anything else.
Okay. Love
So
that.
that's a type C.
Workhorses.
And then your type Ds are more of a type Ds are more the pessimistic type. So they're kind of the ones that are newer in their journey, and it's more like environmental. So they're a bit slower in their pace. They seek security and find comfort in their routine. So these are your typical 9-to-5ers. Like these guys are the ones that are just really happy with the way that their lives are running, whatever it might be. They're super shy, low-key, fair, calm and stable, resistant to change, and confident in self. They are always easygoing. They love to have something that makes them tick. They come up with big ideas. They suffer from self-confidence issues. They're super caring and sincere, but they're also really resistant to change and quite shy. Okay. So they're like your newer kind of clients. You find that they'll probably go through type D and then fall into another category. So your type Ds are your Labradors. So they're like the people that are like, are you okay?
Yeah, okay.
We've got a type D on our team.
Yeah.
Kelsey.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's like the little puppy. She's like, are you okay? Can I help you with anything?
Always checking in on everybody.
Yeah, she's a little type D.
Yeah. Doubts herself as well. And we're like, what are you talking about? Yeah.
Like, can we, when I say pessimistic, they can be quite negative towards themselves because they don't understand their own capabilities. So they are the ones that have struggled with the image in the past. They're your common 9-to-5 workers. They think that type A's are insane. They're like, what is wrong with you? Like, why are you taking all of these risks? They're super supportive and thoughtful. They love community groups. They thrive in like-minded communities. They love long-term growth. Having like a long-term program for them is super important. They'll be customers around forever. And they just need security. They need to know that they're secure with you.
Love that.
So they're your 4 personalities.
Okay. I feel like I'm definitely a mixture of like B and C.
You're a B. For sure. You hate being proven wrong.
No, see. No, I find my problem is I get persuaded too easily though, because I'll be like, no, this is definitely how I think about something. And then someone will turn up and be like, oh, but what about this, this? And I'm like, oh my goodness. I didn't even think about it. Okay, I'm coming over to your side. And then I'll be like, no, I'm coming over to so I can be persuaded.
You can be really fluid, but a lot of the time, like, it's environmental based.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you want business owners, get ready for some type A's.
Yeah.
And you're not going to be able to talk to them.
No. Yeah, okay, fair. Yeah. I'd definitely B with like a bit of C, but B probably more so than anything.
We just want it on a rampage. But I really think it's important to understand your personalities because that's how you're going to market to them.
Yeah.
So have a bit of fun, pause the podcast and put some
on. Oh my goodness, we got to keep on cracking through these.
I know. The next thing I like to do is I like to know what's in your customer's value hierarchy. So where is health from 1 to 5, 1 being the most important, 5 being the least important? Every time I ask this question, people are like, 1. I'm like, no, it's not. Because if it was 1, they wouldn't be signing up for coaching.
Yeah.
Like they wouldn't be coming to you with a problem. So where does health actually sit and what is on top of health? Is it their relationship? Is it their career? Is it travel? Is it their dog? Is it their self? Like family doesn't need to be it. It can be like kids and then partner. It can be friends and whatever it might be. Where does it sit? What is the most important thing? And the way to look at this is if they were to skip the gym or have a shitty week on their program, what would be the excuse? What's coming first? Is it their job? Helpful. Is it their time? Like, is it their dog? Like, what is it? And you need to understand that. You need to know what's coming first. Again, it relays in marketing. What would your top 5 be? Ooh. I know mine. I say mine every day, that's why.
I was going to say, I don't think I say mine like ever.
My relationship, my business, my dog, and my health.
4th.
Well, they bounce. So, like, at any given time, they bounce.
Right.
Currently, my health is last, yes. I'm trying to get through the end of the year.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, see, I think health would be pretty high for me because, like, I get really disgruntled if I miss the gym. Like, this week, I'm agitated, but, like, I cannot get myself there. But majority of the time, like, that would be, like, pretty high up there for me.
What's keeping you away from the gym this week?
What is it like? I guess active. What is it?
Like socializing.
Socializing. Yeah, socializing actually, because that would be like dinners out, and like I like to be able to do that. So
it's a really good activity to do. It's if your customer skips the gym, they're not just skipping it because they're lazy. Why do they skip it?
Yeah.
And so say you're like socializing, right? Well, why did you skip it? Because you're socializing. So break it down.
Yeah.
So it's like I skipped the gym because of work. Well, why? Well, work's really hard at the moment. Why is it hard? Well, it's hard because I've just got so much going on. Okay, what's not working then?
Yeah, okay.
And then they're like, oh, I'm feeling like the sessions are too long. Bang, problem. So like break it down.
Yeah.
We spoke
not just
about this
like
with Brett.
making it. Yeah. Yeah, love that. No, that's cool.
Hobbies. I love to know this one. What are their hobbies?
Yeah. Why?
Because are they drinking every weekend?
I don't think is drinking as a hobby. So I was like, but it is.
Yeah, it is.
It is, yeah.
It is. Are they drinking every weekend? Are they going to festivals all the time? Are they partying? Are they spending time with kids?
Yeah.
Are they going to parties? Are they going out for dinner every weekend? What's important to them?
Actually, that would also be helpful too, because it's like what other things they're doing, like golf, or they're playing sport, or what is it that the gym needs to like help complement the kind of thing as well. Like, are they going to be sore from that they'll miss their gym session? Yeah.
Like, for example, if their hobby is reading, cool, go habit stack for me while you read. Make that a habit on their schedule.
Yeah,
I know
read
that
on
you
the
love,
treadmill.
I know that you love to read. Go read on the treadmill for 20 minutes.
Yeah,
See how you can relationship build by breaking this stuff down?
Yeah, that's really good.
Fitness mindset. I always ask this and I always say, because we're talking about bringing customers on board, right? What is their mindset when they're coming to you? What's going on in their head? And you need to understand this. So a really great example is with the Business Moves program, what mindset are they in to reach out to us?
Yeah, okay.
So basically when people reach out to us, they're exhausted. They're over it. They don't want to do it anymore. They're feeling stressed. They just need someone to fix it.
Yep.
That's the mindset that they're in. So what is their mindset? What are they feeling? Why are they feeling like that? So when you're doing fitness mindset, it's like, okay, let's use Tisha, for example. We just spoke about her. Right now, health for her is me time.
Yeah.
Why does she need that?
so she actually has some time on her own and that she can have that little break and not go insane.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Why would she go insane if she doesn't have time alone?
Who wouldn't go insane if they didn't have time alone?
But see, like when you break it down, you understand what the core of that problem is.
Yeah.
So like their fitness mindset might be, I'm eating 1,200 calories and not losing weight. Why are we thinking like that? Okay, well, I've been told to eat this much. Okay, but why? And like keep breaking down the why and you're going to find the answer pretty quickly. So that's why you really need to understand where they're at when they're starting, and feel free to ask them, why do you feel like that? Like I just need to understand.
Be an annoying 4-year-old that just keeps asking why.
Training experience. I like to ask this one because there's 2 reasons. One, we need to know where they're sitting. But 2, what is your limit as a coach? What are you absolutely not having a bar of? And it's okay to have a limit because you want to enjoy your business. So I refuse to teach people how to use pin-loaded machines. Like they should know that.
Yeah.
They should know how to use My Fitness Pal. They should know how to get steps every day. Like what is your limit as a coach? What is something that when someone asks you like,
that you don't want to have to spend the time
it's
teaching
like,
it to someone.
Again. Here we go again.
Which is fair to not want to have to do. Like,
well, this is how
why
you
we're
attract
working
your
it
ideal
out.
audience. Yeah. And it's, for example, one of the biggest ones is I don't want to teach them how to use MFP. And it's like, I get that. It is quite hard. Let's make a video, do it once, done. Kind of thing.
Have it in their onboarding.
But it's like, what is your limit? Everyone has a limit.
Yeah.
Everyone does. Like you're not going to find a bodybuilding coach taking on a brand new customer. That's their limit.
Yeah.
Their limit is I'm not going to tell you to train every week. If you don't do it, you don't get results. Whereas someone else's limit might be a little bit different. So you need to understand what the limit is and you need to understand what this training experience is. So when it comes to the training experience, what don't they know? And one of the main things is they're not confident in the gym. Why? They don't know what they're doing. Why? Because no one's ever shown them, or they've got injuries, or they feel like they can't stand in the weights room. There are 3 pieces of content for you that you can use over and over. You can do a how to set up a weight rack. You can do how to do this. You can say, here's how I feel confident in the gym. You need to break down the why, like the crux of why they're feeling like that.
Yeah, I love that.
Really get it out. What is their problem and why?
I feel like we've like semi-covered it, but
I want to go on the record and say that your customers aren't wanting to be babied. I hear that a little bit. You should never say that to start with, but your customers are not being lazy. They're not refraining from the gym. They're not following their program. They're not doing all of it because they're lazy. They're not doing it because there's a reason why they're not doing
something
it.
is getting in the way.
And
what is the reason?
It really comes back to, like, for example, I will like use me as a thing here. I was really struggling to get my sessions in this year and we couldn't figure out why. Like me and Rach just couldn't figure it out. And I was like, I think I just really hate my training. I'm really not liking it. Change my program, bang, love it. Every single day, go to the gym.
Stunning.
So like it's every single day. But it's like, why are they having these issues? You need to figure out why they're having the issues. Why do they believe that carbs are bad for them? What can you put out on the internet to explain that? Instead of, and Brett said it really well, like with health and fitness, your customers are going to hold on to that one piece of content that gives them confidence that they know what they're doing. And if you tear that away from them, you're just breaking them down and not giving them any confidence to do anything. Like it was like a keto example. Hey, it's like, well, I do keto. It's like, well, that's shit. Why are you doing that? That's stupid. It's more like, okay, cool. Let's get started, see what you're doing and make improvements. Like you need to, that's what being a coach is. You coach them.
Is coaching them, not putting them down for things that they knew, because then otherwise they'll be scared to bring things up to you again.
Yeah, exactly. And we get it so much in our program too. Like, I'm doing it like this. Okay, well, why are we doing it like this?
Yeah.
Why? And like you need to break it down. So like, what is your customer problem and why do they have that problem? Why can't they stick to their sessions? Why are they not feeling confident? They're not lazy. Like, yes, there is a time and place where people are lazy. They're not lazy majority of the time. There's always something there. And if you're just blatantly saying that my customers are lazy, what are you doing coaching? Like you need to figure out the problem if you want to be a coach. Controversial. Well, what's their turning point to sign up? what's the crux? Like, what's happened to them?
To get them to the point of being like, yes,
Reaching
let's
out,
do this. Yeah.
What's their problem? Like, what's gone on in their life? Is it a snowball effect, feeling like shit and trying everything? Is it they try to race their kid around the house and they felt really puffed? Did they have a really bad injury and now they're really struggling to get back into training? Do they feel really uncomfortable around their friends? Like, what's the crux? What's the reason why they're signing up?
Love that. Yeah. So working that out and then kind of being like, well,
Reverse
this is how I
engineering
can fix that.
Like, really simple of, okay, I feel really uncomfortable when I'm around my friends, making a piece of content. If you feel really uncomfortable when you're around your friends, here are some tips for you. That's how simple marketing is. It's just we overcomplicate it.
Yeah.
Fears. What are they scared of? I always, this is a really hard question. And there's a lot of fears. There's a fear of failure. That's a massive fear, because why would I want to feel even worse about myself if I did your program and I felt even worse afterwards? Then I've wasted all my money. Fear of commitment, fear of food, preface, parentheses, whatever it might be. There's a difference between I don't want to eat that much versus like an ed, like know your boundaries with that. Yeah. But it's like, do they have – I remember when I first signed up with Coach, I was like, I can't eat this much food.
Yeah.
It's not happening. And then like I learned quickly, but that's completely different. Like, what are their fears? What are they afraid of? What can you help them through? Understand what their fears are.
Yeah, for sure.
What do they lack?
Yeah.
Nutrition literacy is the number one thing. And I'll get that all the time. It's like, all right, where is their nutrition literacy sitting?
How much do they know?
People can't answer that question.
Yeah, okay.
Where is their nutrition literacy sitting? And this is a really good comparison to this is with the business moves, right? Business acumen is definitely something that coaches don't prioritize, which is fine. But when it comes to business, what I find is that what we're doing in business is a lot, I guess, more advanced because like there's more on it, whereas what we're teaching is a little bit lower. And it can be, I've said this conversation to you all the time, and it's like sometimes I feel a little bit stupid because I feel like I'm not giving them everything that they need, but they're loving what I'm giving them because it's what they understand. Yeah. So it's like you need to understand like what that line is. Like if I was waffling on to them about, you know, all of these data and metrics that we do behind the scenes, they'd be like, what? What are you talking about? So it's like understanding where their literacy sits. And yes, you might feel a little bit silly. And I always say this to coaches, if you feel silly, you're doing the right thing, but you've got to like kind of tone down your intelligence to where they're at and then build them back up. Yeah. So it's like, yes, they don't know about food. What don't they know about food and why don't they know it?
Yeah. And then how can you get them to the level that you want them to be at? But you need to get them at the point of them understanding. Like if your demographic has a low nutrition understanding, then you're not going to go in and give all these smart words because they're not going to understand what you're saying and be like, oh, that doesn't mean anything to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. And like we kind of feel the same. It's like, oh, we should be teaching our customers more about email marketing. And it's like, well, it's overwhelming as it is. Like, let's just get them to the first step.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And the last question is, what do you actually solve? What do you actually do for them? What's the problem you're solving? Yeah. How are you solving it?
They need to know what, like working out all their problems and then be like, this is how I can fix it.
Like what?
And how?
What method are you doing to solve it?
Yeah.
If you don't know how you solve the problem, you can't sell your business.
Yeah. That's how you sell it. You should be able to say what you solve and then.
You know what I always find too? It's people think they solve a problem through a tool like a meal plan or a protocol. No, like that's not your answer. It shouldn't be a tool. It should be what you do. Like how do you solve it? You can utilize a tool to solve it, but what do you do to solve it? That's the question a lot of people get really stumped on.
Yeah, I like that.
It's like, yes, I can give you a training program, but why are you sticking to mine instead of another person's?
Yeah. Yeah. Like
you
what's
need
the
to
difference?
find that about you. And the only way that you can find that is by asking your customers.
Really like that. That is a very in-depth activity.
It is.
But needed.
I always say this to you in the BM calls. You're going to feel like you're spiraling right now. You're going to open Pandora's box and you're going to feel like, oh my goodness, there is so much I don't know. That's good.
Yeah.
Go out, use your polls, use your stories, ask questions, do feedback forms. If you want your customers to fill in a feedback form, add an extra couple of questions to the check-in form every week and get them to fill it in.
And don't make it a whole nother form. They're just like, oh, my check-in form's different.
Yeah, just be like, there's a few more questions in the check-in this week, get the answers, delete it kind of thing.
Yeah. Easy.
Go in your polls, ask questions. We have so much access to information these days, but we refuse to do it because I think we're scared of what we're going to hear. But you need to constantly be asking to figure it out because you might be solving the wrong problem. Like a really, really good example of this is again, I'll use myself because I don't really care. I was having really bad issues with tracking. Like I got out of that really intense prep. I tried to get back into tracking, really struggling, couldn't stay on track.
Yeah.
Removed it, got better instantly. So it's like you could be solving the wrong problem with the wrong tool by not understanding where the problem's sitting.
Yeah.
So it's like, yes, tracking's a tool, but that's not the tool that I need right now.
Yeah, it's not solving your current problem.
Yeah. So it's like understanding that and bringing that back to your customer.
Yeah.
So
I love that.
Hope some light bulbs just went off.
Yeah. And if you're sitting there being like, oh my God, I actually don't know how to answer any of these questions, maybe just sit with them a little bit longer. Oh yeah, all that too. Let Ash help you figure out your answers. But I think that's some really great insight, and you should probably already have ideas for marketing solutions and ideas for content. And
that's the thing. When you jot out your customer problems, you can make one of them mind maps. It's like, why do they have this problem? Well, this is the reason why. So,
content idea, but
it's like, why do women not feel comfortable in the gym? They don't know what to do. Okay, cool. Let's make a series on what to do. Why else don't they feel comfortable? Or they're not really comfortable in their activewear. Let's give activewear recommendations. Like it's all just this big puzzle that you can put together that makes it easier.
Yeah. And you should have content ideas for days.
Yeah. So that's everything on building out a customer profile.
Yeah.
Make sure to do it. Flick us an email if you're really struggling with it. It can be a little bit of a difficult activity.
Yeah.
But once you nail what your customer problems are and know who they are, feel free to give them a name as well. Feel free to call them something. Yeah. And then every time when you're talking about that your ideal customer, you can envision that customer.
Yeah, love that.
And you might have someone that is your ideal all over. Just call your avatar that. Be like, oh, that's Ash.
Yeah.
And then every time you put out a piece of content, it's like, well, will Ash benefit from
what
that?
What would Ash find valuable? Yeah. What
and
could
it's
help
going to
her?
make your life a lot easier.
Yeah, I love that. That's very helpful. And then should we talk about what's coming in the next one?
Yes. The next one is building out offers.
Yeah.
Big one.
Which is going to be like, I feel like it's going to be like a big one and kind of like a dependable thing.
Yeah, offers will be difficult, but basically building out good offers this year that you're not constantly chopping and changing all year.
Yes. Definitely being confident in your offers.
And not locking yourself into offering a meal plan or offering something else. Let's talk about how to make nice, fluid, easy, scalable offers.
Love that.
And everyone struggles with offers, so you're not alone.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for listening, and we will talk to you next week.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.